You're born in a hole, a tiny dark hole buried deep in the snow. It's cramped, cold, the air is thick with the scent of fur and frozen earth. You can't see a thing, but you don't need to. Your whole world is warmth, your mother's warmth. She's curled around you and your siblings, her body a fragile barrier against the brutal Arctic outside. But she's weak, starving. She's been running on nothing but exhaustion, digging this den, keeping herself alive just long enough to bring you into a world that doesn't care if you survive. Outside, the wind screams. Snow pushes in on all sides, but you don't notice yet. You don't even know what cold is. Your only instinct is to crawl closer to your mother, to nuzzle into her, to fight for the best spot, the warmest spot. And you do fight. You push and squirm against your siblings, tiny blind bodies jostling against each other. You don't realize it yet, but you're already competing. The first of many battles. And you are losing. The others are stronger, bigger. They shove you aside without effort, claiming the best spots for themselves. You whimper, tiny and helpless, but no one listens, no one cares. Your mother does what she can, but her warmth is fading. She's running on empty, and soon if food doesn't come, so will you. But food is rare, and in this world, the pack eats first. Your so-called family isn't what you think. It's not a loving, protective unit. It's a machine, a system built for survival, and you are the weakest cog. There's your father, the alpha, the leader. He's in charge of everything, patrolling the territory, leading the hunts, keeping the order. Your mother, the alpha female, has just as much authority, but her job is different. She raises the pups. She keeps the pack together. Then there are the subordinates, the lower-ranked wolves. They hunt, they follow orders. They don't eat until the alphas have had their fill. They don't question anything, because being alone in the Arctic is a death sentence. And then there's you. You're at the very bottom, the lowest of the low, the runt. The pack tolerates your existence, but only barely. If things get bad, if food gets scarce, you know exactly where you stand. Or rather, where you don't. Because in a place like this, mercy is a luxury no one can afford. For now, though, you survive. Your father prowls the edges of the territory, keeping intruders at bay. Your mother stays close to the den, doing everything she can to keep you and your siblings alive. The subordinates bring food back, but by the time it reaches her, there's barely anything left. And whatever scrap she gets, you get what's left of that, if there's anything left at all. Days pass, you grow slowly. The hunger never really leaves, but it becomes familiar, a constant ache in your tiny belly. Then one day, everything changes. Your eyes open. The world is bright. Too bright. The cold slaps you in the face for the first time, biting through your thin fur, and you shiver. Your siblings are already squirming toward the den's entrance, eager to see what's out there. You hesitate, but the choice isn't yours. They shove past you, stepping on you, nudging you aside like you don't even exist. You scramble after them, stumbling into the snow. It's miserable. The icy ground steeps into your paws, numbing them instantly. Your fur is too thin, your body too small. Your siblings somehow don't seem to care. They bound through the snow, nipping at each other, play fighting, learning. They're stronger than you. They always have been. The adults don't notice you. They're busy watching, sniffing the air, patrolling, hunting. You don't exist in their world. Not yet. But your mother does. She watches over you, but not in the way you want. Not with softness, not with affection, with practicality. You're weak, you're slow. That makes you a liability. And liabilities don't last long out here. Days turn into weeks. You learn, sort of. You try to follow the pack when they move, but your legs are short. Your body is too clumsy. You sink into the snow with every step. You stumble, you fall. Your mother nudges you forward, pushing you, urging you to keep up. Feels like kindness. It isn't. She's not doing it for you. She's doing it because if you don't keep up, you will die. And no one's going to carry you. The lessons come fast. Survival waits for no one. The pack decides it's time for you and your siblings to learn how to hunt. No instructions, no gentle guidance, just watch, learn, figure it out, or starve. The first target is a hare. The adults move in silence, spreading out and surrounding it. You're supposed to stay back, be quiet. But you're hungry. So hungry. And you don't understand the rules yet. You whimper, shift your paws, just a small sound. It's enough. The hare bolts. The hunt is over before it begins. Your father glares. Your mother doesn't even look at you. The pack regroups and moves on. You scramble after them, stomach aching, head low. You don't make the same mistake again. But you're still not good enough. You try to mimic the adults, crouching, stalking, waiting, but you're slow. Too loud, too clumsy. Prey escapes every time. The pack doesn't hide their frustration. You're falling behind. You're eating less and less, and the gap between you and your siblings grows wider. They're getting stronger. You're getting weaker. And then winter comes. It's worse than anything you imagined. The cold never leaves, the snow never stops falling, food becomes a dream, a distant memory. The pack moves constantly, searching for something, anything to eat. You have no choice but to follow, even when your legs are numb, even when hunger is clawing at your insides. Then one day, a miracle, the pack takes down a caribou. You've never seen so much food in one place. The smell of the blood is intoxicating, makes your mouth water. Your legs tremble with desperate need. You race towards the carcass, stomach twisting in anticipation, but by the time you get there, it's already gone. Bones, that's all that's left. The alphas ate first, then the subordinates, then your mother. By the time it trickles down to you, there's nothing left. Not even a scrap. You gnaw at the bones anyway, licking the frozen marrow, trying to trick yourself into feeling full. It doesn't work. The pack keeps moving, you keep following. Step after step, mile after mile, even though every bone in your body screams for rest. The nights are the worst. The pack huddles together for warmth, curling against each other, their bodies a barrier against the brutal Arctic wind. You try to squeeze in, desperate for warmth, but there's no room. You're pushed to the outside, left to shiver in the freezing dark. You don't sleep. You don't even think. You just shake, and shake, and shake until the morning comes. You start to wonder if you'll ever feel warm again. And then, just like that, spring returns. You survived, somehow. But you're not the same. You're bigger. Yes, stronger, maybe. But the pack has changed. New pups, tiny, squirming bodies in the den, just like you were once. And suddenly, you're not the baby anymore. You're not special. You're just another mouth to feed. And there isn't enough food for everyone. Your mother's busy with the new pups now, too busy to care about you. The others push you aside without a second thought. You try to fight for scraps, but it's hopeless. Then one day, it happens. The pack moves on without you. You watch them disappear into the endless white, their figures growing smaller and smaller, until they're gone. Then, for the first time in your life, you're truly alone. You stand there, paws sinking into the snow, heart hammering in your chest. The pack is gone. The only life you've ever known has left you behind. There's no call to return, no backward glance from your mother, just silence, just the wind whispering over the frozen wasteland. Panic surges through you, but what good is panic? It won't fill your stomach, it won't warm your shaking limbs, it won't bring them back. For a long moment, you don't move. Maybe they'll return. Maybe this is a test. Maybe if you wait long enough, you'll hear their howls cutting through the cold, calling you home. But no howls come, no pack returns, you're alone, and alone means death. The first night is the hardest. The cold gnaws at you from all sides. Without the pack's warmth, your body struggles to hold on to what little heat it has. You dig into the snow, curling into a ball, trying to disappear into the frozen earth. Your belly aches. The hunger is sharper than it's ever been. A twisting thing burning inside you. You dream of food, of your mother's warmth, of a world where you are not forgotten. Morning comes like a whisper. Pale light creeps over the horizon, turning the snow to shades of blue and silver. You wake slowly, feeling brittle, as if the coldest crept into your bones and made a home there. But waking means moving, and moving means survival. Your legs feel stiff as you push yourself up. Every step is a battle. The snow is endless, stretching out in all directions. No shelter, no food, just the wind and the vast, uncaring sky. You don't know where to go, but staying isn't an option. You walk. Hunger becomes your only companion. It gnaws at your ribs, whispers in your ears, and makes your head feel light. You try to hunt, but you've never done it alone before. Your first attempts are pathetic. A hare darts past you, and you lunge, paws flailing, but you're too slow, too weak. The hare vanishes into the whiteness, and you are left with nothing but your own ragged breath. You try again, and again. Each failure chips away at you, draining what little strength you have left. Your paws grow heavy. Your steps are slow. The world tilts around you. Days pass, the hunger doesn't leave, it only grows stronger, whispering in your mind, making your vision blur. Then on the third day, you stumble upon a miracle. A carcass. It is half buried in the snow, the scent of frozen blood thick in the air. A reindeer, long dead. Its body torn open by something larger than you. A bear, maybe, or another wolf. It doesn't matter. What matters is the food, the chance to live. You don't hesitate. You sink your teeth into the frozen flesh, tearing, ripping, swallowing. The meat is tough, ice cold, but it's food. It fills the emptiness inside you. For the first time in days, you don't feel like you're dying. But you're not alone. A shadow moves at the edge of your vision. Then another. The scent of the carcass has drawn others. Foxes, ravens, and worst of all, wolves. Not your pack, strangers. They're bigger than you, older, stronger, and they don't want to share. The first one lunges without warning. A blur of fur and teeth. Instinct takes over. You dodge, barely, feeling the snap of jaws just inches from your throat. Another comes at you from the side, knocking you into the snow. Pain flares through your ribs. You scramble to your feet, panting, heart pounding. They circle you, growling low, eyes hungry. They don't want to fight, they want you gone. You snarl, hackles rising. You're small, you're weak, but you're not dead yet. The biggest wolf moves in, aiming for your neck. You duck at the last second. Twist thing, biting down on his leg with everything you have. He yelps, stumbling back. It's enough, just enough. You bolt. The snow is a blur beneath your paws. The wind stings your eyes. You don't stop running until the growls fade, until the world is silent again. Your breath comes in ragged gasps. Your ribs ache. Blood drips from your muzzle, but it isn't yours. And for the first time in your life, you feel something new. You are alone. But you're alive. The days blur together. The hunger never leaves, but you learn, you grow, you fail, but you also succeed. You catch your first hare, then another. These are small victories, but victories nonetheless. You stop thinking about the pack, the mother who left you, the siblings who shoved you aside. They're ghosts now, memories fading into the cold. And then one night something shifts. A sound cuts through the silence. A howl. Not just one, but many. A pack. Not yours, but a pack nonetheless. You hesitate. Every instinct screaming at you to go, to join, to belong again. But you're not the pup they left behind. Not anymore. You raise your head, open your mouth, and you howl. The sound is raw, rough, but strong. It echoes across the frozen land, carrying with the wind, reaching years you do not know. Silence follows. Then a reply. The pack is calling you. You move toward the sound, step by step. Maybe they will accept you, maybe they won't. But you're not that helpless pup in the snow anymore. You're something else, something stronger, something new. And whatever happens next, you will survive.